Hillside Stranglers, and The Grim Sleeper. In 1982, St. John became only the second recipient of the police department's Distinguished Service Medal for his 8-year investigation that led to the capture of William Bonin, one of the freeway killers. Number 3, Izzy Einstein and Mo Smith. With the passing of the Volstead Act in 1919, prohibition came to the United States. A new agency was needed to enforce the law, and thus the Bureau of Prohibition was born. Izzy Einstein and Mo Smith, well, they were its top detectives. Since the new unit was hiring, Isidore Einstein tried his luck, as it paid better than his previous job as a postal clerk. The chief, though he didn't want him. Einstein was middle-aged, short, and stocky, not exactly bureau material. However, Izzy convinced him that that was an asset and not a hindrance, since bootleggers wouldn't suspect him. Izzy was right. There were times when he could knock on the door of a speakeasy with his badge on display and say he was a prohibition agent. People would still let him in and give him a drink because they thought it was a gag. Other times he would carry a prop like a jug of milk or a jar of pickles. As he put it, who would suspect that a fat man with pickles was an agent? Soon after being hired, Izzy convinced his friend Mo Smith to stop selling cigars and join him as an agent. Neither one of them had any law enforcement experience, yet they were responsible for almost 5,000 arrests with a 95% conviction rate. Izzy and Mo liked to wear disguises to gain entry to speakeasies. If the bar was near a hospital, they would wear white coats. If it was a lawyer bar, they would come in carrying heavy law texts. Sometimes they would even dress as husband and wife. The duo's success, it was their undoing. They were fired after 5 years with the Bureau because everyone else resented them for their skill and popularity. Obviously, very solid hiring practice there. Number 2, William J. Burns. Many real-life detectives have been compared to Arthur Conan Doyle's creation, but William J. Burns was called America's Sherlock Holmes by none other than Doyle himself. Burns started his law enforcement career as an assistant to a private eye. He then became a Secret Service agent. His success led him to opening the William J. Burns International Detective Agency. Several high-profile cases and a few notable connections led to him becoming director of the Bureau of Investigating, the BOI, the precursor to the FBI, and he did that from 1921 to 1924. Burns investigated 2 infamous early cases of domestic terrorism. In 1910, his agency looked into the bombing of the Los Angeles Times building, which killed 21 people. Burns went undercover with the anarchist movement and arrested brothers John and James McNamara. 10 years later, he investigated the Wall Street bombing. That case remains unsolved, though, but not for a lack of trying. Burns' agency detectives went undercover all the way to the Soviet Union in an attempt to unearth the culprits. Burns' reputation, it took a severe hit when he was implicated in the Teapot Dome scandal. Detectives from his agency were hired to investigate the jurors in the trial of oil tycoon Harry Ford Sinclair. He was forced to resign from the BOI, and he was replaced by J. Edgar Hoover. Burns retired to Florida and took up writing detective stories. Number 1, Eugène Vidocq. Eugène-François Vidocq started out on a life of crime.
Is Sinclair the dinosaur places?